Hey guys, and good afternoon, Creeps. Okay, today's topic is going to be about moving on, and saying goodbye to the negative people that you need to say goodbye to. Okay, now moving on ain't easy. It's easier said than done, but sometimes life tells you, hey, this person is not good for you, and this person is not supposed to be in your life, okay? And honestly, I know how hard it can be to say goodbye to people that you've known your whole life. But believe me, there's going to be a time in everybody's life when you have to say goodbye to certain individuals. What do you want, Ash?
I will watch Josie.
Okay, hold on.
Guys, I always watch Josie all the time, guys.
Okay, just 1 second. Okay, so hold on 1 second. Let me try get her phone set up.
I'm just head to tell him that.
Okay, that's fine, Ash. Okay, so let me change something. Okay, so people don't understand the process of elimination. They don't know the process that it takes when somebody. Let me put it like this. Let's say, for example, you got somebody in your life, whether they be your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle. Let me put it like this. Let's say, for example, that person is always bad mouthing you, and they ain't got shit to say nice to you or any of that. They just, they always think the worst of you. And then, when someone jumps off, they quick to just to go around telling your business to strangers and all kinds of stuff like that. They're gossiping about you. They're talking about you behind your back, name calling, getting physically abusive with you. That is not somebody that you ever need to have in your life. Let me put it to you like this. If you are a young, child or a teenager and you got an abusive mother or father, I'm going to give you some advice that you need to listen to. And remember, you heard it here first. The first chance that you get to get away from that person or the people, first chance that you get away from them, move away, and just never talk to them again. You need to see, I should have stopped talking to this person in 1992. I actually got away from this person in 1992, and honestly, I was 19 years old at that time. And what happened was, I had told myself when I left, I'll never talk to this person again, and I'm gonna leave, and I'm never gonna come back, and I never want to have nothing to do with that person. But when I left, I started having a change of thought. I started thinking forgive and forget. And I had made the fatal mistake of calling the person and rekindling a relationship in 1992. I think about 1992 a lot because that was when I got away from this person the first time. And then, I turned around and forgive and forget everything that this person did to me that was bad. And honestly, when I think about it, I say, you know what? That was the stupidest move that I ever made in my life. Forgiving and forgetting somebody's horrible past, and I shouldn't have done that. But you know what? Life got a funny way. I have some mixed emotions because at the first point, I think, I got away from this person in 1992. Why did I call this person and befriend this person again? What the hell did I do that stupid shit for? So originally, I thought a lot about that because, I really shouldn't have done that. That was really a stupid, stupid move. And it was actually one of my greatest mistakes. I'll go to my grave and think about the mistake of that started in 1992. But then I think about something else that happened, and I said, you know what? I guess it worked out for the best, because what if I would have waited 20 years or 30 years later and then I rekindle a relationship with this person, and all the time had passed, and then maybe something would have jumped off, and then I wouldn't have, because this person is very sneaky and deceptive, and I didn't, and let's say for example something jumped off because this person was always doing sneaky shit, and then I didn't figure out who it was. Let me tell you something very horrific happened to me 11 years ago, and I just now found out what happened, because it unraveled. It took 11 years to unravel. Let me tell you something. I was attacked. I was jumped by a man. I was actually attacked by this man in the middle of the night when I was coming home from work one night. I had got attacked by this man, and this man had grabbed me and dropped me to the ground and was trying to drag me between a building to kill me. No. Some other things had happened also with some men, because for some reason I was going through an episode where I was being jumped and attacked by strange men in the middle of the night. Okay, so the first thing that had jumped off, I didn't know who the fuck it was. I actually got away from this person, and it's just none of your business exactly the details, but okay, but 2 weeks later I'm walking down the street, and I saw these two boys at a light post, and it wasn't like where people would loiter, and it was like in a strange position, so I knew that they had no business. It wasn't like a liquor store or convenience store where people hang out. It was just a residential street. So I knew something was up, so I walked, and then suddenly they turned and they tried to chase me down. I had to jump up on somebody's porch, and I started banging on their door, and I was saying, please open the door because somebody out here trying to kill me. The people didn't come to the door, and I was just screaming and banging on the doors and windows. I was just running all over their porch, just screaming and banging. They didn't open the door. They had their lights out. They were asleep, I guess, but they didn't open the door, and then the boys saw me doing that, and then they ran. And then some other shit had jumped off. I had a break-in and entry. Somebody had broken into my apartment, and then they continued breaking in. I had the locks changed twice, and they just kept on breaking in. And do you know, I found out 11 years later who the fuck that was setting me up for all this jumping and breaking and entering, and they vandalized my truck. They bust the windows out and shit like that. I was going through some horrible shit for about a year. And then somebody, I'm not going to tell you how I found out, I could trace who it was that had set me up. I found out their name. I knew exactly who it was. And I found out exactly who it was that was setting me up for that fuck up. I found it out after 11 years. Actually, their name, and it was traced right back to this person. And I said, that is amazing. It took me 11 years. See, I found out who the person was that was doing the breaking and entering, right? I'm going to put it like this. The person that did the breaking and entering, I ended up fleeing the apartment and leaving, because I knew that somebody was coming in and they were eating my food and drinking my drink and using my toothbrush and using my shower and stuff. And I had a bathtub and a shower, but you could tell that somebody was in there while I was at work. So this went on for about a month, but before I just decided to leave. So what happened was, this person actually, after I left, they stayed in there. And this person actually had to get evicted out of the apartment. And so when I found out who it was that had got evicted, I found out who it was that was doing the breaking and entering, because they used their name. And I knew exactly who the fuck that person was. Because they actually got an eviction at my apartment. They got evicted and they had to use their name to get it evicted through the courts. And I actually found out who the fuck that was after 11 years. After 11 years, I just found that out as to who, because I didn't even think that somebody would just settle down. And the person that was doing the home invasion, they actually, after I fled the place, they stayed in there, lived in there, and the motherfucker had to get evicted out through the court systems. So through the court documents, I found out who the fuck the person was that had done the home invasion. And it was somebody that I had known all my goddamn life. It took 11 years to find that shit out. 11 years is how long ago the home invasion happened. But I knew that whoever that person was that had done the home invasion, they were also the ones that had me, because me getting attacked and jumped and fucked up and beat up and chased, vandalized, car busted windows out. Somebody put shaving cream all over the fucking vehicle, and they were just fucking everything up. I was fighting for my life. I was fighting for my life during that episode. And I found out who the motherfucker was that was trying to set me up to kill my ass. I'll tell you how I was I was in the fight of my life. That was the fight of my goddamn life. That was the greatest fight of my life. I literally had to fight for my life during that year of all those attacks and jumping and beat and, somebody dragging me and shit. And also some other shit had happened. But I'm not going to tell you all that because it's too much information. So, what I'm trying to tell you, bitch, it took me 11 years to find that shit out. Found out 11 years. Do you know how long ago that shit happened? And I stumbled across the court documents because of some other shit that I needed to do through the court systems. And found my address with somebody with a fucking eviction on it from 11 years ago. Okay, so I know who you are. I know what you were trying to do to me. And it is deeply disturbing. It is. It's deeply disturbing as to what the fuck, why. I just couldn't believe who the fuck this person was that I found out who had done the home invasion. And it's linked up to the person that I had to get rid of out of my life. It's linked up to that motherfucker. That motherfucker was the one that was trying to set me up to kill me. I couldn't believe that shit. I was like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be fucking kidding me. It was that motherfucker all along? What? You got to be kidding me. It was that motherfucker that I grew up with that had done that shit? It was that motherfucker that I've been knowing almost my whole entire goddamn life. It was that motherfucker that was fucking me up and had jumped me and shit. Had somebody to jump me and fuck me up on the side of the building. God damn. I think about that, and honestly, I could see the worry and stress on my face. My face is really showing some wear and tear. I'm going to do a whole video about my wear and tear on my face, because honestly, when I look at myself in the mirror, I could see so much wear and tear and stress on my face. It really has altered my face a lot. Just, finding out some things. My face is looking so stressed and so aged. When I look at myself, I feel like crying, because honestly, when I found out who that was, I just cried. I just sat there and cried. I sat there and cried. I really did. I sat there and cried. And let me tell you something, it was real creepy because I was having so many bad thoughts and memories of that episode of that year of being attacked and the home invasion and shit. And the next day, my daughter woke up and she said, Mom, I had a nightmare that somebody killed you in the apartment. I said, wow, you know, and it could be just that she wasn't even born during this time. But, you know, I cry. I'm still kind of crying to myself at the horror of that time of my life. It was a horror. That's why I got tears in my eyes, because I really was, I felt so betrayed. It was one of the worst betrayals of my life. I felt so betrayed. And me and another family member is trying to piece the whole thing together. Like, why did she, why this, why that? Because we got some information. Why this, and why that, and why this, and why that? Because that family member that I'm communicating with was not in oh, excuse me. I'm not going to tell you where it was. Too much information. I'm kind of crying to myself. Because I, you know, it was horrifying. Think for yourself. If you are a woman, and you just imagine you coming home from work in the middle of the night and having a strange man attack you from behind, knock your motherfucking ass to the ground, and drag your motherfucking ass in between the buildings to cut your motherfucking throat, or to fucking fuck you up and slice you up on the side of a building, or strangle your ass to death. Imagine. Okay. Imagine after that, you know, two boys chase your motherfucking ass down the street, getting ready to fuck you up or kill you in the middle of the night. Then after about a week of that, then you come home and find somebody broke into your motherfucking house while you gone. Then you change the lock and the motherfucker comes back and get back in there. Then you change the lock again, the motherfucker come back. Okay. It was horrible. It was a horrible time. It was a horrible, frightening time. And then find out 11 years later, after you done went through some other shit with some other crazy shit with the motherfucker, then you find out